once, and my brother is my kind of counselor in that sense. So also the counselor should do the right diagnosis. Sometimes, people come with some questions, and we just sometimes react very harshly or kind of be defensive, as if he is trying to destroy our religion or something. So he says here, those kind of questions might be coming from this and this, doubts or real questions at the back of the stage. So sometimes the guy just criticizes, for example, somebody just criticizes one point of the religion, but he might have bigger questions at the back. So we should do the right diagnosis and really address the root of the problem, not just argue over the details and all the minor things that really does not affect the real root of the belief. And this is very practical also. That I myself witnessed it many times at school. For example, we used to argue these matters of belief with my classmates, and then a guy comes with very different questions, but at the end you can see that he has very fundamental problems, as he said about the qadar, or even it might not seem very related, but if you explain Tawheed and talk about the attributes of God, it might solve everything, in his mind. Eventually, he might come to conclusion by himself. Maybe we can just give some directions in that sense to each other. We don't need to even, directly answer all the questions. He will go and, find them for himself. So those were the two very important principles for me to, keep always, or remind. I need to remind myself always, because otherwise, sometimes this kind of beneficial gatherings just quickly goes out of the way, and people get upset. It's not, or you don't get into a conclusion that will benefit everybody.
Is this rule applicable among only Muslims, or is it also applicable for non-Muslims, the dispute of the matters of belief?
I would call it seekers of truth. If you feel that the guy is genuine, he's sincere, he's just looking for the truth, I'm not the guy who will evaluate his level of belief, or he's on the way to Tawheed, or he's a complete believer, or what's the level of his iman. Is he, as Brother Mustafa said, a believer or kafir, or what, But sometimes you can see that, the guy comes just to criticize. He's not really, trying to benefit from it. You don't need to, go on. But otherwise, if, somebody is seeking for the truth, we can apply these principles easily.
I guess it's also a question of attitude and sincerity of the person, you and the person that you are talking with. Like, there are people out there who are going around to pick a fight, and there's no point in arguing with somebody like that, because your words won't pass through, and you will just lose your time. But then there are people who are sincerely trying to figure out what's the truth, and then you can that can be a joint effort to seek the truth.
So just for me to better understand, so when we say it's just the attitude we try to have, it makes kind of more sense to me. But when we say we are both seeking the truth, from a Muslim's point of view, isn't it like, I hear the truth, yes, of course I need to better understand it, I need to improve myself, that's my attitude, but it's not like he's a Christian or non-believer, I am a Muslim, but we are both seeking the truth. Like, I found the truth, I don't have any doubt about it, I don't know how we should look at this. So if I put myself equal to that person, as if, like, in my mind, is the problem?
I would approach it as not as I found the truth, therefore I'm a member of the party of truth, and therefore this is what I route for. Right? That would be the wrong attitude. But I believe that this is true because I see it as truth, right? And then that person is sincerely, truly seeking truth. Then whenever we come to a common point where we can start to see that light, then we can, have a joint effort to seek the truth. This difference is whether we are looking for the truth or talking about the truth because we think that we are in the party of the truth and we are just routing for it, or whether that's really what we see out there.
So I found the truth, why not help others to know?
This is kind of more of my question. So, Alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me with the truth, with Iman, and I always need to try to improve myself, correct my wrong deeds, etc., have a better Iman, etc. But at the same time, I am not trying to tell, or I'm not trying to make the other person believe because it's given by Allah. I don't have that power, but I need to look for different ways to reach out to him, to pass the message, so to speak. But at the same time, maybe I need to better understand this, but I need to, I'm having a hard time to put myself, okay, we are both seeking the truth, so we are coming from the same point. Let's be together and figure out what this tells us. I don't know if it's clear.
We are talking about this principle, He said when you are talking about the truth of Qur'an, the fundamentals of belief, it should be in the form of a discussion, argument.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's simple enough.
Your question may also go to the distinction that we make between taqlid and tahqiq. Right? One is imitation, the other is exploration and analysis, and we do that exploration and analysis constantly. We don't stop at some point because our nafs and our connection in our heart that keeps listening to the Satan will continuously bother us, and therefore we need to do that exploration, analysis, investigation continuously. Right? So it's not like we found the truth and end up there. Right? It's not a process with an end to it. It's an ongoing process. Therefore, we are continuously seeking truth. We are continuously seeking more depth in our understanding of truth. And there is nothing wrong with doing it in cooperation with somebody else who might be a believer or non-believer, as long as that person is also sincerely seeking truth.
First question. What wisdom does it spring from? Adam, upon whom peace salam, being expelled from paradise, and some of mankind, the sons of Adam, being sent to hell. The answer: the wisdom of it concerns the charging of duties. Adam was sent charged with such a duty that the unfolding of all mankind's spiritual progress and the removing of all mankind's potentialities and man's essential nature being a comprehensive knowledge to all the divine knowers are the results of it. If Adam had remained in paradise, his rank would have been fixed like that of the angels. Man's potentialities would not have unfolded. In any case, the angels, whose ranks are unchanging, are numerous, and there is no need for man to perform that sort of worship. Indeed, since divine wisdom required a realm of accountability, appropriate to the potentialities of man, who would transverse infinite degrees, he was expelled from paradise for his well-known sin, sin being the requirement of man's nature and contrary to that of the angels. That is to say, just as Adam being expelled from paradise was pure wisdom and pure mercy, so it is just and right that the unbelievers should be sent to hell. As is mentioned in the third indication in the 10th word, the unbeliever only committed one sin in a short life, but within the sin was infinite wrongdoing. For unbelief is an insult to the whole universe. It negates the value of all beings. It denies the testimony of the divine unity of all creatures, and is contempt towards the divine names, the manifestations of which are to be seen in the manners of beings. Therefore, in order to avenge the rights of beings on the unbeliever, the being's monarch, the all-compelling Lamb of glory, casts the unbelievers into hell, and this is pure right and justice. For an infinite crime demands infinite punishment. So, two parts in here, I believe, right? Why Adam was expelled from paradise, and one, some of the human beings, the sons of Adam, are sent to hell.
I just want to focus on the first sentence. This is very interesting for me because it's just one sentence, but it's kind of, to me, negating the whole Christian theology in just one statement. The wisdom of it concerns the charging of duties. Adam was sent, charged with such a duty that the unfolding of all mankind's spiritual progress and the revealing of all mankind's potentialities and man's essential nature, being a comprehensive mirror to all divine names, are the results of it. So, when Allah created Adam alayhi salam, He knows that he has the ability or free will, and he will do mistakes. so theirs is, we don't need to go that, but theirs is, at that point they make a mistake. They say God kind of, didn't know that Adam will do such and such sin, and he just fall away, from God, and then it goes and goes on and on and on. They try to fix that problem in a way. God knows who He did create. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that what's the nature of Adam.
In our daily life, when we ask somebody to do this, it implies that that person has potentiality to do that, and therefore we remind them don't do it. Otherwise, there is no need to say don't do it. So Allah knows actually that Adam has a free will and can deviate from the path. So therefore, He ordered, don't do this. That's my understanding. But in English they said the devil's advocate. So imagine that there is a tough professor. He's preparing very well. He's caring and he's teaching very well. But there are lazy, ignorant students. But there are also few hard-working students. Of course, it is very beneficial for hard-working students. They learn and they receive good grades, but others, they fail. And they will automatically blame the teacher. He's a tough or she's a tough professor, is asking too much from us. I wish I didn't take this class. So here, can we find ourselves in the same situation? Like, I wish he didn't create me like a human being. I would at least stay in the paradise without any risk of going into the hell. I don't know, this is a question that came to my mind.
The disbelievers in the hereafter will say, if only we were dirt.
Yeah, I wish I was created as a dirt. Right?
If we were just dirt, we were not ever created. So they will say that.
Well,
can we say it?
Yeah.
Say if you want.
Because since I am a created being, so sometimes I don't see, I don't have a power on that. So why he gave me the free will? Yes, it is good because I can read, I can comprehend many, everything. My previous form of life, like as an angel, I wasn't able